What if I told you the next season of Bridgerton isn't just continuing the story, it's about to reinvent it into a glittering fairy tale? Season 4 is shaping up to be the show's own version of Cinderella, complete with masks, hidden identities, forbidden romance, and the kind of ballroom magic that fans of this series live for. From what we know so far, this could be the season that finally marries the elegance of the Regency world with the enchantment of a timeless fable. No one is more excited about this than Nicola Coughlan, the Irish actress who has become the heart of the show as Penelope Featherington. Nicola has been dropping little hints about what's ahead, and she describes Season 4 as something truly special. In her own words, stepping onto set this time felt like walking into a completely new world. Fresh energy, fresh chemistry, and a sense that this chapter will stand out even among the high bar the series has already set. She even compared it to the feeling of a classic fairy tale, which is why fans have started calling it Bridgerton's Cinderella season. At the center of it all is Benedict Bridgerton, the second son in the family. Up until now, Benedict has often been the witty, free-spirited sibling hovering in the background, but this time, he takes the spotlight. His story kicks off at one of Violet Bridgerton's grand masquerade balls, a scene straight out of a dream. Among the gowns, the glittering chandeliers, and the masked crowd, he encounters Sophie Beck, a young woman shrouded in mystery. For Benedict, this single encounter is life-changing, the beginning of a romance that crackles with both passion and secrecy. Much like Cinderella, Sophie isn't who she appears to be, and her hidden world threatens to collide with Benedict's privileged one in ways that will test both of them. Nicola Coughlan, of course, has been busy outside of Bridgerton too. She recently lent her voice to an Audible original titled Misdirected. Compared to the 8 long months it usually takes to shoot a season of Bridgerton, recording an audiobook in a week felt like a breeze to her. She laughed about how refreshing it was to finish a whole project so quickly, especially since she had Gilliam Lee sharing narration duties with her. But even while juggling projects, she always insists that Bridgerton is the most joyous set to return to. According to her, every season feels like a completely new show thanks to the unique energy each lead couple brings. And this time, Luke Thompson as Benedict and Yaren Ha as Sophie are the ones carrying that torch. What makes this season even more intriguing is the upstairs-downstairs dynamic that's being woven in more than ever. Nicola noted how this echoes classic British dramas that examine the sharp divide between classes. In the context of Sophie's Cinderella-like arc, that dynamic becomes even more important. It's not just about romance, it's about what happens when two very different worlds are forced to meet in the candlelit corridors of London's elite society. Still, fans can't forget the journey we just witnessed in Season 3. That season was Penelope's turn, as her friendship with Colin finally evolved into something deeper. But along with love came the heavy weight of her secret, her double life as the sharp-tongued Lady Whistledown. Watching her balance personal happiness with public deception was one of the show's most compelling conflicts, and it proved again that Bridgerton isn't just about romance. It's about the struggle between who society expects you to be and who you truly are. And with the success of Queen Charlotte, a spin-off that became a phenomenon in its own right, plus the fan conventions, events, and discussions that constantly keep this world alive, it's no wonder viewers feel confident Netflix will take Bridgerton all the way through 8 full seasons, matching Julia Quinn's original novels. But here's where things get tricky. This is Netflix. And Netflix has a history of making unpredictable, often heartbreaking decisions. Popular shows have been cut short before, leaving storylines unresolved. If that ever happened to Bridgerton, fans would be devastated not just because the show ended, but because some of the saga's most unforgettable moments would never see the screen. Take Gregory's story, for example. His big romantic climax happens in On the Way to the Wedding, where he literally crashes Lucinda Abernathy's wedding to stop her from marrying the wrong man. It's chaotic, passionate, and one of the most thrilling moments from the entire book series. To imagine Bridgerton ending before adapting that scene would feel like a robbery. Then there's Hyacinth Bridgerton. We've seen glimpses of her cleverness already, usually in the way she teases Gregory, but in her book, It's in His Kiss, Her wit takes center stage. She teams up with Gareth St. Clair to uncover his family secrets and later to hunt down a stash of hidden jewels. Those mischievous adventures don't just bring excitement. They showcase her sharp mind and how perfectly it balances Gareth's vulnerabilities. Without them, her story simply wouldn't feel complete. Francesca's arc is another one fans are watching closely, especially since the show made the bold decision to gender swap Michael into Michaela. In When He Was Wicked, one of the most emotional parts of Francesca's journey comes after the death of her husband, John. She discovers she's pregnant, a twist that delays the transfer of the family title and creates a heartbreaking mix of grief, guilt, and buried feelings. Later, she finds comfort in Michael, but in the show, this will mean Michaela. Fans are hoping the series keeps this raw, devastating moment intact because it's essential to Francesca's transformation and the depth of her eventual romance. And then there's Eloise. The show has already taken her story far from the books, painting her as fiercely independent and uninterested in marriage. But into Sir Philip, with love, her impulsive decision to visit Philip leads to a whirlwind of change. While the series may not follow that path exactly, one scene still deserves a place: the heart-to-heart she shares with Anthony after her brothers track her down. In that vulnerable exchange, Eloise admits she feels left behind after Colin and Penelope's whirlwind romance. It's a quiet but powerful moment that humanizes her and deepens her bond with her family. Even Hyacinth's relationship with Lady Danbury deserves more attention. In the books, their sharp, witty conversations are a highlight of It's in His Kiss. The show has already hinted that Hyacinth frequently visits Lady Danbury, so leaning into those interactions would feel completely natural. And it's through Lady Danbury that Hyacinth even meets Gareth in the first place. Without those conspiratorial chats, we'd lose some of the humor and cleverness that make Hyacinth such a standout character. And how could we forget the climactic chaos of Gregory crashing Lucy's wedding? Or the danger and suspense that builds in the later books, like Hyacinth and Gareth breaking into Clare House in search of hidden jewels? These are the kinds of scenes that elevate Bridgerton from a pretty romance to a thrilling saga. Fans want them, and frankly, the series wouldn't be the same without them. So while Season 4 is giving us the magic of Benedict and Sophie's masquerade ball romance, fans are also looking further down the line, hoping Netflix commits to telling every sibling's tale. Nicola Coughlan herself has said no two seasons feel the same, and that's part of the show's genius. Each sibling brings a new energy, a new perspective, and a new kind of romance to the mix. If Season 4 really does lean into the Cinderella angle the way Nicola suggests, then we're in for masked secrets, forbidden love, and the kind of sweeping drama that made us all fall in love with Bridgerton in the first place. It's not just about who Benedict falls for, it's about how the series continues to weave fairy tale fantasy with raw human emotion. The only question is, will Netflix give us all 8 fairy tales? Or will fans be left forever wondering how the Bridgerton saga could have ended? So what do you think? Will Benedict's masquerade romance become the crown jewel of Bridgerton? Or are you more excited to see Gregory, Hyacinth, Francesca, or Eloise take the spotlight in the future? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into the world of Bridgerton.